Question number 3, the Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question's to the Prime Minister. Has he given Parents Inc. an undertaking to give them money?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, no.
The Honourable Annette
Well,
King.
in light of that answer, on what did he base his comments that Parent Inc. delivered fantastic results and that he was going to, quote, make sure they get some money to run their programs far and wide before the election?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the member will appreciate those were comments made by the Prime Minister in his capacity as Leader of the Opposition. But he has made no secret of his support, which I share, for a group which has for the last 15 years educated parents and communities up and down this country, attended by very large numbers of people.
The Honourable Annette King.
Question, Mr Speaker. What discussions did he have with the Minister of Finance about providing funding to Parents Inc. and why was this organisation singled out as worthy of funding by the then Leader of the Opposition before the election, and even before an application was made?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there were no discussions with the Minister of Finance. In fact, the decision was made by the Minister in the Ministry of Social Development, I presume with some attention from the Minister. And actually it's not unusual at all for decisions to be made to contract social service providers without going through the MED tendering system.
The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker.
Order.
Why did the government
Order.
approve $2.4 million untendered to Parents Inc. for a parenting program when the evaluation of it was not completed and the complete sample, which was to be provided by December 2010, was never compiled or received?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, that decision was made within the Ministry of Social Development, but I am interested that the Labour Party just hates anyone who goes out and talks to New Zealanders that's not in a way that's not politically correct.
Order. The question asked why a certain decision was made. It didn't actually invite an answer who the Labour Party hates or loves, and that's not in order. The Honourable Annette
Supplementary
King.
question, Mr Speaker. Why did the government... Mr Speaker?
Order. Order. I expect the House to extend some courtesy. Honourable Annette King.
Why did the government use an incomplete evaluation, one which had such a low response from parents using the parenting program, as its justification for giving $2.4 million to Parent Inc., as the Minister for Social Development did earlier this month?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, that member will know, because she was a minister in the previous government, most government spending is not fully evaluated. And a lot of it might struggle to pass objective valuation according to particularly any measure of political correctness that the Labour Party might apply to it. The fact is, this organisation has for 15 years educated parents around New Zealand in very large numbers. It probably has a better track record on parenting education than any organisation in the rest of the country.
The Honourable Annette King.
Is he aware the researchers his government relied on in handing over the $2.4 million of taxpayers' money untendered had such a low response from the survey of parents that they decided they need to incentivise the parents by offering them either a 16-piece Maxwell and Williams fine bone china tea set or 3 books, but still failed to complete the sample?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, is the opposition now saying the researchers were stupid or there's something wrong with the course? I think you need to make up your mind. But I'd invite the opposition to go to any suburb of Hamilton or Palmerston North and tell them that they think Parents Inc. gets it all wrong. In fact, they would be regarded as a bit more expert on parenting education than the bureaucracy or the overfunded Families Commission.
The Honourable Annette King.
he aware that despite the government allocating $2.4 million to parenting for their parenting program, parents have to pay up to $90 a course? And how many low-income parents who are already feeling the effects of rising costs are going to be able to afford that amount?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, if given the choice between believing that member's assertion and the Minister, I believe the Minister.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, do I actually need to indicate? I mean, the member has...
Order.
The member has indicated there is a question about whether he believes a statement made by a member in this House. So you know that he can't do that.
Well, order. I'll hear the Honourable Simon Power.
It's a regular occurrence for that member who's just resumed his seat to yell from that side of the House, "Tell the truth, tell the truth," which would seem to get us in the same territory that he's now complaining about with respect to that comment.
Order. I think the matter can be dealt with fairly simply. When members make statements and questions, they risk those statements being refuted by ministers. It seemed to me the Minister was making fairly plain that he disagreed totally with the statement contained in the question. And he was doing it in a fairly robust way, and I've got no problem with it being... It's the danger members face when they put claims or allegations into a supplementary question that is in a fairly, an area of some interest where some strong political views are held. They can get strong political answers. The Honourable Bill English has finished answering the...
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
He has. The Honourable Annette King, point of order.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table a paper from Parent Inc.'s website which sets out the cost to parents for their parenting program toolbox.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 4. Supplementary question. Supplementary question on question 3. The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
What lessons has the government learned from their exercise with the Treasurer's exercise with Peter, which was giving money to people with whom they were associated, that have been applied to this project, again giving money without tender, over $2 million to their friends?
Well, Mr Speaker, those statements are unbelievable coming from a former minister of the Labor government. Fancy government giving the money to people that it knew. The previous Labor government specialised it. In fact, the $2.4 million is paying the $90 fee so that the foster parents who that government left unsupported with the most vulnerable children in New Zealand can actually get some support. And the Labor government should be apologising for its record on its failure to support foster parents and get decent parent education out in New Zealand.
Order. Is it a point of order or something?
Yes,
point
Mr.
of order,
Speaker, I seek leave to table research prepared by Point Research into Parents Inc. Toolbox, an evaluation incompleted but used by the government to give money to their mates.
Now the member will get to her feet and withdraw and apologise for that last statement. I will not have the point of order process abused like that. There was nothing wrong with seeking leave to table the document, but that last statement will be withdrawn and the member will apologise.
I withdraw and apologise. Point of order, Mr Speaker.
No, we're seeking leave now to table the document.
Yes, I'm seeking leave.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is objection.
Point of order, Mr
Point
Speaker.
Of order, the Honourable Annette.
Are you going to ask the Deputy Prime Minister to withdraw and apologise for the comments he made about me?
Order. I'm not, because the member knows that she made that comment under a point of order where the member was seeking leave of the House. And that process will not, that is quite a different process from answers to questions or any other process. And it won't be abused. Point of order. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
What remedy does a member have, immediate remedy, when a member is called a liar against the facts, as that member
will turn his seat right away. Look, this nonsense will stop. It's just petty and pathetic. You'll notice that earlier on I pulled the minister up when a straight question was asked and he went on to make some comment about the Labour Party. I pulled him up. I stopped him. And, I can't I can't run this House the way one party may wish it to be run. I've got to run it absolutely fairly to all parties. I stopped the Minister when he started to abuse the Labour Party. I stopped him in his tracks. But given some of the questions asked and the implication in questions, I heard the question asked that money was being given to friends. I don't blame the Minister for giving a pretty robust answer. If members don't like robust answers, be careful about the questions asked. Question number 4, Sandra Gowdy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.